Today we'll talk about the Gateway of Reunion and the best character to choose. Hey everyone, welcome back. It was just a few days ago that this Gateway of Reunion restarted again, and now you can pick any character that you want among the list that is available over here and basically get it summoned after doing all these milestones. And don't worry if you already picked someone and you want to change the person. Whenever you reach one of these milestones, you'll get one free attempt to reset, like me over here. Actually, I'll just do a reset for you so you can see it as well. So I'm gonna do the exchange, and then here we are with all the characters that we got over here to choose as our main character for the Gateway of Reunion. I'll talk about every character briefly, but I'll try to cover everything that is important for them. And I also have a tier list made for you guys in the end of the video, so make sure to stick till the end. Without further ado, let's jump to our first group that we have, the Clover Academy. These two, this red Asta and the blue Yami, are good for PvE. They both have increased damage dealt. This Asta can gain to 12% increased damage dealt, and if you level him up to 125, you'll get an extra turn when using skill 2, which is great because with his skill 2, you'll get increased attack by 42%, and then you can deal damage with his special skill or the first skill. And special skill is actually really good, especially in PvE, because you get 60% increased damage dealt when attacking a boss. This Yami is also good for PvE, especially when you're doing red dungeon or any other red challenges to gain attack items, because he has increased attribute damage dealt by 15% when you're attacking red enemies. Also, with his dupe passives, you'll get 10% more damage dealt. But his other skills are kind of normal, like nothing really special over there, so make sure to consider these two for PvE if you don't have any other good units at the first. But the best character in this group is by far this Mimosa. We have two Mimosas in the game. One is this Clover and one the party one. I'll talk about both of them. They're great healers in the game. You definitely need at least one of the Mimosas in your team. It's good to have both of them because they work a little bit different to each other. This one scales up with magic attack. As you can see, all her skills is based on magic attack, and the other one is based on HP. Other differences that they have is in skill 2, she heals all your allies and also extends buff by 1 turn, which is great, insanely good actually, because you can extend your buff, any buff that you have, for 1 turn. Her special skill again heals all allies and gives you increased defense by 140%, so she is perfect. Let's just jump to this party Mimosa that we have over here. As I said, she scales up with HP, so she heals based on her own max HP, but she only heals one of your characters when using the second skill, and also she removes all continuous damage. And with her special skill, she removes the stun from your ally, but again, only heals one of your allies. Another good thing about her is when you level it up to 125, you can basically have HP recovery every single turn by 15% based on her own max HP. So in total, both are great. You must have at least one of them, but if you can go for both of them, obviously, because they have different skills. And check what gear setups you have. You need to put HP on her and magic attack on the Clover one. In this swimsuit group, this Charmy isn't going to be your best or first choice, but she removes 1 continuous damage from all allies with her second skill, and also increases defense by 175 with her special skill, so that might be useful, especially the second one. Consider that when doing daily bosses. This Garch over here, he used to be one of the best supporters in the game. He's still good though, especially if you have him dupe level 2, because upon using the second skill, you'll give one of your allies Intense Sunlight. And Intense Sunlight is increased damage dealt by 5%, stacks up to 3 times, and you can't remove that, like no one can remove that. So this is great. Basically all your characters could get 15% increased damage dealt in total, also increase attack and magic attack by 50%, and ignore defense or increase penetration by 40%. Also with the special skill, you grant all your allies continuous damage immunity for 2 turns. So again, a good decent unit, especially when doing bosses, daily bosses and so on. Make sure to consider this. And this Red Noelle, she is still great. Like, when she came out, everyone was like rooting for her, but she's still great at the moment. She's special because she has AoE on the first skill and also the special skill, so this could be like her advantage and disadvantage, because first of all, you attack all the enemies, that's great, but since you're attacking everyone and it's not a single target attack skill, you might have less damage in total. So she's good when attacking a crowd, a full crowd, obviously a full team, especially in PvE, but consider this, that she won't be your main DPS when you're attacking just one enemy because of her overall attack. But other than that, her second skill is great. She grants every single character in your team barrier up to 140% and also 160% for one ally. She's kind of like a small hybrid because she attacks everyone pretty well and also gives your full team barrier. I think it's good to have Noelle in your team because she could be really useful, especially in the beginning. In this group, this Jack Reaper, he's worthless. Like, just forget him, okay? This blue Charlotte, the supporter one, she was really good before, but now that we have Kaiser, I think Kaiser is the better choice. But in general, she gives everyone counterattack, so that's basically what she does. Like, she's good for counterattacking teams like her, and with the purple Fugo, maybe Locke that we have in the next groups, and she also increases all attack for all enemies, so she's decent actually. If you don't have Kaiser, I think she's also a good one for counter-attacking team. This Fugo, he's not really great to be honest. The only good thing about him is the increased damage on his special skill if you have 3 or more burns stacked up. So you need to have him in your burn team, but not the best choice. Over here in the custom party, this Noelle, actually she could be really useful, especially with her last skill, like the special one. I mean, she removes all buffs from enemies, so this is insane. You can definitely benefit from this skill, especially when doing daily bosses or like regular world boss and even the raids probably. So make sure to consider this. I know Lotus also removes all buffs, but she's a guaranteed buff removal. This Charmy, I call her the Pumpkin Charmy. The only good thing about her is the pumpkin pie effect that she has on her special skill, so you can gain 600% increased magic attack damage dealt on the enemy, but you have to wait 5 turns, so like 5 turns should pass and then she can inflict 600 increased damage dealt on the enemy, which is insane amount of number to be honest, but you need to wait 5 turns, so this could be tricky. Just consider this, maybe she could be useful for you. Over here, the first ceremony, both of these characters are great, especially this Charlotte. Great supporter in the game, especially in PvP. She basically does everything. She increases the speed of your allies and also she will give them debuff immunity, and with her special skill she grants all allies 30% reduced damage taken and also ignores 30% of an enemy's defense. Gives this to one of your allies so they can hit harder. And if you have her duped even level 2, you can give your highest all attack character barrier equal to 50% of her own max HP, which is a great amount of barrier. So you can definitely support your main DPS and your characters with this Charlotte. So she will be like one of your first choices, definitely, and she is great, especially in PvP. This Magna as well, he's a great attacker. Just look at his special skill. He gains 45% increased damage dealt buff for every instance of continuous burn damage an enemy is taking. So obviously you want to have him in your burn team and deal as many continuous burn damage as you can on the enemy, and then use his special skill to kind of one-shot them, and after that you'll get an extra turn. Also with his passive, you can deal continuous burn damage on all enemies for 2 turns, and if you have 2 or 3 more characters to deal the continuous burn damage, then you can attack super heavily with him. In this part, this Yummy, he's kind of similar in my opinion to the Pumpkin Charmy, because with his first skill you gain this extra damage max 4 times. You have to do the first skill 4 times first and then do the special skill to get 300% increased damage dealt buff, and also the defense penetration level 5, which you ignore 50% of an enemy's defense. That's great, and he also removes all instances of continuous damage. So in overall, this is a great amount of damage, but his base attack is low, 60% at start. That's why I don't think he's worth it, because you have to do his first skill 4 times first and then do this one. The This lock, as I just mentioned with Blue Charlotte, he scales up with counterattack. So based on the counterattacks present on all allies, you gain 40% increased attack and magic attack as extra damage. So that's why if you want to use a counterattack team, he could be also in that team, but he's not the best in total. Still, he could be useful. Here I already talked about this Mimosa, she's a must-have unit, but this Vengeance, I still think the supporter Vengeance is better than this one, but he's also useful with his special skill. You gain 34% reduced damage taken, grants all your allies debuff immunity. I think the only thing that makes him special is this debuff immunity, because this is a top tier skill in the game. So any character that has this one, it will be pretty useful for you. But still, I prefer the supporter one. Here, to be honest, personally, I don't like this reel so much. He only gives you speed. Could be useful, yes, but I prefer the other reel, the green supporter one, because he truly supports your team, lowers down the enemy's defense, and also increases damage dealt on the enemy. This Noelle, again like the custom party one, her special skill is the main thing. She removes 2 debuffs from all allies, so again a top tier effect. Also with her second skill, she removes continuous damage from all of your allies, which is great again doing daily bosses and PvE content. Over here, this Kahono, I strongly believe she's a must-have unit for each team, especially if you have the Black Asta, the red defender one, because she supports him really well, increases attack by 70%, and also has this opening aria for 5 instances. You'll turn it to Festival Aria, which gives you 60% increased penetration, 45% increased crit damage, and 15% increased damage dealt, which is insane for Black Asta. So a great team would be her plus the Witch Queen and Black Asta to deal massive damage, kind of like one-shot the enemy. This Nozel, I'm really upset that they don't have a good Nozel in the game. There's a yellow one coming in the future, but we don't know when yet. Still, this one is not the best unit in the game. The only good thing about him is that he's kind of immune to continuous damage, because with his dupe level 2, he converts all instances of continuous damage inflicted on self into Mercury. So Mercury grants 10% reduced damage taken, stacks up to 3 times. So in general, he's kind of immune to continuous damage. Maybe that could be useful when you're doing daily bosses, but in general, he's not like the best choice. The secret agents over here, these two are really unique. This Zora, he's a great attacker, especially when attacking yellow units, because he has this increased attribute damage, and the purple one only has an advantage over yellow golden ones. 20% first skill, 30% second skill, and I guess 50% over here with his special skill. Also, he'll get extra turn over here and protection for 2 turns with his second skill. In total, he's great, especially dealing damage to yellow or golden units like Valkyrie Noelle or Lumiere, so make sure to keep him in mind. These two are basically good for PvP, especially this Vanessa, so she's one of the best characters in PvP. One of the best meta units is this Vanessa, Lumiere, Secre, and Black Asta or Mimosa or any other character. I do Black Asta, and they're really fun to play with, and it's super easy to win the battle. And you need to have different colors with her, this Vanessa, in your team, and that's how you get this total silence on the enemies as her passive, which is an insane buff. Also with her second skill, again you inflict silence on the enemy for 2 turns, so they can't use their second skill. And with her special skill, she sets all mobility to 0 and reduces the attack speed. So if you build them properly, like your team, you can basically one-shot the whole enemy team. And about these two, I already talked about them fully in detail in my previous videos, check them out. But just a quick reminder, you need to have both of them in your team, so you can't just use one of them. You need to have both of them, and they really work well with each other. And as promised, this is the final tier list that I have. Must-have units over here. These 2 Mimosas, as I mentioned. This Green Charlotte, great for PvP. This Vanessa, and she's like kind of like does everything, attacks everyone, and also has a barrier, but again not good when attacking single target enemies. And you need to have burn team with Magna to deal insane amount of damage. For PvE content, this Kahono is a must-have, especially if you have the Black Asta, the Red Defender one. Go for her. And he's also good to just do like bosses if you want, and him as well. I talked about this too with their skills for daily bosses mainly. Removes buffs of the enemy and removes debuffs on your side. And second best, like not your first choice, obviously you want to go with this row, and also here like PvE for Kahono. So she could also be here obviously like in this row, but I just put her here PvE, but must have for sure must have. And I'll probably put her here. Like these 4 green units will be your top choice. And if you want to do PvP, you go with this purple Vanessa if you have Lumiere or Valkyrie Noel. And then the rest, again, based on what I just mentioned and what you need, you can go for the rest as well. And yeah, that's it. Hope this video was helpful. Let me know down in the comment section what are your thoughts, and if you have any other questions, let me know. I'll try to help as much as I can. I'll make different videos in the future for every character, so till then, have fun and stay tuned.